Power has three faces. First, destructive power. Destructive power is the ability to harm, injure, break, crush, erase, mutilate, divide, suppress, damage, shatter, alienate, separate, eradicate, terminate, etc. Second, productive power. Productive power is the ability to create, grow, conceive, compose, assemble, construct, design, develop, multiply, evolve, cultivate, generate, manufacture, reproduce, etc. Third, integrative power. Integrative power is the ability to join, combine, coordinate, connect, harmonize, incorporate, assimilate, organize, unify, reconcile, synthesize, associate, etc. Each of the three faces of power is associated with a characteristic behavior. Destructive power translates into a characteristic behavior called threat. The logic of this behavior is as follows. You do what I want, or I will do what you don't want. Productive power translates into a characteristic behavior called exchange. The logic of this behavior is as follows. If you do what I want, then I will do what you want. Integrative power translates into a characteristic behavior called love. The logic of this behavior is as follows. I do what you want because I want what you want. Destructive power is associated with threat. Productive power is associated with exchange. Integrative power is associated with love. But these relationships are abstractions. The real world is more complicated. In the real world, things are not so simple or straightforward. Consider destructive power and its characteristic behavior, threat. What makes it possible for an individual or group to use threat is the possession of destructive power. But in the real world, destructive power does not exist alone. It exists in association with productive power as well as integrative power. Think of the military, which is an ultimate expression of destructive power. Yet, the destructive power of the military depends on the productive power of the industry and the economy, as well as the integrative power of patriotism and camaraderie. Next, consider productive power and its characteristic behavior, exchange. What makes it possible for an individual or group to practice exchange is the possession of productive power. But in the real world, productive power does not exist alone. It exists in association with destructive power as well as integrative power. Think of the market, which is an ultimate expression of productive power. Yet the productive power of the market depends on the destructive power involved in procuring and processing natural resources, as well as the integrative power involved in organizing and mobilizing human resources. Finally, consider integrative power and its characteristic behavior, love. What makes it possible for an individual or group to practice love is the possession of integrative power. But in the real world, integrative power does not exist alone. It exists in association with destructive power as well as productive power. Think of a religious community, which is an ultimate expression of integrative power. Yet, the integrative power of the religious community depends on the destructive power involved in excluding those who do not belong, as well as the productive power involved in meeting the material needs of the members. It is possible to analyze any human interaction or institution or social arrangement by noticing the dynamics among these three phases of power and the characteristic behaviors associated with each. One of these may dominate in any given case, but the other two are always present in one form or another.